I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Hoops Podcast. Julio Gallerati, joined as ever by my friend, confidant, Ryan. Is really muscular. Lynch.
Hello. Happy Thursday.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Julio.
Today we are joined by a very special guest. I've been kind of carrying on about this guy in the recent past. I went to see his special premiere in Brooklyn. It was incredible. You should check it out. It's called For the Boys on YouTube. Dan Licata, everybody.
What's going on?
What's up, dude?
Thanks for having me, man.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Loved your special. For those of you guys who don't know or are new to Dan, I associate him with people who I assume are his good friends, Joe Pera being one of them. Mm-hmm. And you guys sort of have what I consider to be a sort of brand of comedy that is kind of anti-comedy, but also very comedy.
That makes sense.
Like when I was watching your special, dude, I felt like a hack. I felt attacked, dude.
No, that was not my intent at all. I only wanted people to feel good while watching it. So that was unintentional.
Okay, good. So I want to explain Dan's special to you because it is very special, indeed, and you'll see what I mean when I start to describe it. And then once you hear what I think, maybe you can describe it yourself as well, and we'll see if there's some overlap. But anyway, he shot his special at the high school auditorium where he attended high school for the boys who went to that high school. And it is aptly titled For the Boys. And it seems to kind of toe the line between real satire, the characters. You can't tell if it's just like brilliant and really funny, great interstitial stuff. True stories that you're like, is this really a true story? Then you're like, oh, this is a true story.
Yeah.
And it's a wild ride. And it's actually a passable special as well. Like if you were to have shot that in a normal venue, I think it would have had sort of like
a coward, for for fans and friends.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that synopsis?
No, that's pretty spot on. An audience of 15-year-old boys. Which if that doesn't make you laugh, then the special's probably not for you. But if that piques your interest, please check it out. Dude. But yeah, it does blur the line between reality and fiction a little bit, and I just want to make comedy that makes you think, and it's gonna make you think. Is this guy really that stupid? And what's real, what's not?
Dude, that's great. Well, I mean, it's very clear that what you're doing is very intentional. There's sort of like a style and a brand. And we don't usually do this on this show. Like when we have comics on, we kind of talk about random stuff more often than we do getting into comedy stuff. But I really do think that this deserves a specific deep dive. For my specific interests, but also just broadly, it's a really interesting thing to witness what this man has done.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's sick.
I'm an open book, so any questions you got, I'm happy to answer.
I got a bunch. But are you friends with Gavin? You know Gavin Matz?
Oh yeah. Gavin's awesome.
I don't know that I knew that your special was coming out, but I don't know that I like specifically realized when you were doing the screening and whatever. I just figured I had spots. I was like, I'm probably not gonna go. Gavin hit me up. He's like, dude, you want to go to this? And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. We brought our girls, dude. We went on a double date to your special. I know.
What'd the girls think?
They loved it.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. I know it's a dude heavy concept, so that's always my big question is what does the other half think of this shit?
Yeah, but dude, it's a dude heavy thing where you can tell that you're maybe slightly more in touch with the way that you present to the opposite sex.
Yes.
It has this gentle thoughtfulness to it somehow.
I do run stuff by my wife sometimes, and she's pretty honest with me. If something is a little too far, she'll 90% of the time she's like, "That's very funny, go for it." But sometimes she'll say, "I don't know about that one," and that's what I'm like. All right, maybe I'll cut that. She's very fair and balanced. I'll say.
I like that. It's good to have a good sounding board. But I will say this: my girl is not really like, for example, she hates I Think You Should Leave.
Really?
Loved your special.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know how I feel like that's a significant thing to share.
Interesting.
in some way. You know what I mean? So she's not like, in theory, and I'm not comparing you to that, but I'm saying she's not really like a person who is into avant-garde comedy necessarily.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought that's a nice stamp.
Dude, that's funny. I showed my family. I think you should leave on a trip that we went on like a year ago, and my sister's fiance was there, and not once, not twice, but 3 times, he just said, "Okay, you gotta be on drugs to come up with this stuff." And I was just like, he said it once, and then we like kind of looked at each other. No one said anything, and then I think he thought we didn't hear him, so he repeated himself again. No one reacted, so he waited like 3 or 4 sketches, and then he said it the 3rd time, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
Did he say it in I love this tone, or was it in a I'm gonna judge you tone?
It was like, this is a little weird, isn't it? You know, like he wasn't really loving it. I think it was. I feel like if I were to show him like the Eric Andre show, it would melt his mind.
Yeah, right.
He might like.
It's a hard show
have
to
an
watch with
aneurysm.
people who don't like it.
Isn't it nice though when you
awkward.
show somebody a show and they feel some type of way about it, good or bad, just to get that reaction and just to like give them the experience?
Yeah,
Feels powerful.
I mean, when I'm on stage, sometimes I'll say a joke and I'll audibly hear someone go, "What?" And it's like, you need that reaction. If you're not alienating a small percentage of the audience, like, to me, you're not doing it right.
Playing it safe.
Yeah.
Dan has a way of including extremely specific references when like telling an absurd story, which I always very much appreciate. You're like, "I was coming back from the Silk Road," or whatever the fuck you're talking about. I'm like, this is great, dude. That was a very bad example, but like, anyway, so love the style, love it all.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So, okay, questions for you. So there's a story that you start kind of talk about toward the end of it where you jumped off your roof.
So it was the roof of a church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell the story?
Yeah. So, Jackass is a big part of the special. It was a big part of my origin story. It really shaped me as a boy. And I got a video camera one year for either Christmas or my birthday. I can't remember. So I started filming myself doing like random stunts, like my friends hitting me over the head with like a pod, or like standing on a ladder and dropping a brick on my bare foot or whatever. And like it was all kind of pretty mid, to be honest with you. It was like not that gold footage, not that money shot that you really want from a stunt reel. So I went to my buddy's house one day, and he lived next door to this church, which my family went to that church like every Sunday, basically. And I scaled the building, which was about 25 feet high, and I ran off and jumped with an umbrella and shattered both of my legs, which was pretty gnarly, I guess. They just looked like complete rubber. There was no form to them whatsoever.
Which way did they go?
They went every which way. I mean, they looked like you remember in Harry Potter where he like the first one where he gets some fucking curse put on was my legs looked like that, just like 2 rubber
like
Like a
invertebrate
Raggedy Ann
legs.
doll?
yeah, just
Wow.
2 slinkies basically.
Huh.
And blood was squirting out of the side of my left leg. Like,
How did that make you feel?
not good. Definitely the worst pain I've ever felt
Oh
in
my
my
God,
life.
dude.
The first thing out of my mouth though was, "Did you get that on tape?" Because can you
Fuck
imagine
yeah.
if my fucking idiot friend didn't hit record and just missed that?
But you did have it on tape,
It was on tape.
and the tape has been destroyed. Is that true?
So the police confiscated the tape and forced my parents to watch it in the emergency room, which, I mean,
Had you lied to them up to that point about what happened?
no, I think it was, I don't know what I would have said. I got hit by a train or some shit.
I
Yeah.
got beat up.
Yeah.
By who? What the
Local
fuck?
hoodlums.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, so the police forced my mom to watch it, and I think she
Sadistic.
started yeah, that's, I mean, as if you need another reason to hate cops, there's one more to add to the pile. But yeah, she like forced my dad to destroy it after that, which Sucks because there was a ton of other great footage on that tape. You know, she could have just like rewound 30 seconds and like recorded over it, but she had my dad smash it to hell with a sledgehammer.
How did they know that you had a footage of it?
I think, well, the police took the camera and...
So yeah, you guys are kids. You don't think to like, if I put this away, they won't know there's a tape.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it was...
Quick, I need to export this.
I think my friend... Or give the cops a fake tape or some shit.
Yeah,
You know, like have a decoy tape.
Oh,
Like,
it's wiped.
didn't have a decoy tape? Yeah, I don't think we thought that far in advance. Yeah, clearly didn't think this thing through.
Yeah.
had a backup plan. But also, I think my friend was probably too traumatized to do anything other than get his mother. And she was also like, what happened here? And it was like, yeah, you see that building behind me? I jumped off of it.
So no one knew. So no adults knew that you were planning this, obviously.
No.
And if they had, that's one of those things where it's like the cool uncle in high school who once you grow up, you realize he was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You should do it, dude. You're like, oh, thanks. Okay, so then who was first on the scene? Your friend's mom?
My friend's mom, she went and got his dad, who was like kind of a scary dude. He was like from Lebanon or something, and had seen war and was totally unfazed. He just it like didn't even say like, oh shit, was just like, so what seems to have happened here? And I was just like, fuck. Oh my god, dude, you've seen hell if you are unfazed by this. And then he was like, at first he was like, maybe we can get him in the van, and I was like, no, dude, there's no way you can
Get
move
you
me.
in. All right.
And so then he called 911, and then
That was smart.
yeah.
How long were you laying on the ground?
It's a good question. Probably before the ambulance showed up, probably 5 to 10 minutes. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Wow. And were you laying flat, or were you like propping yourself up on your elbows while like talking to everybody? Because like you're an intricate part of like explaining.
So all the like damage was below the knee, thankfully. So I was able to sit up like this, but yeah, thankfully no pins or screws either. This orthopedic surgeon was a real fucking wizard and put me back together with no hardware, which is pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And you those young legs. Come on.
Yeah. I'm pretty much fine. Like no physical limitations or anything. I'll probably have arthritis like a motherfucker in 2 years' time.
Yeah.
But,
Did anyone think you were trying to kill yourself?
That's a good question.
That is, I think. Well, they thought I was on drugs, and they did not believe me when I said I was sober. I don't know if
Test
they
me,
thought.
bro.
Yeah, I was truly like. I think they did yank a hair out of my head to test it, but yeah, I don't think anyone thought I was just trying to kill myself.
Okay.
Because having my friend film it was probably. And they also knew I was like into filming stunts and stuff like that. I was kind of known around town as
Got it.
that type of boy.
Got it. They're like, officer, no, don't worry. These guys are just idiots.
Yeah, yeah.
So when your parents eventually found out, like you just, when the mom showed up, was she like, what the fuck happened? And you were like, oh, we were making a video. Like, oh, it hurts.
Yeah, she started crying, which I feel bad about. I think I tried, actually in making the special, I tried to like reach out to them. I was like, trying to get a bunch of footage, and I was like, maybe I'll interview them or like go back to the scene. And then I was like, nah, this is too heavy, and I don't want the special to be a downer at all.
So in theory, if you had the video, you might not have even included it, or at least the impact part.
If I had the video, I would have shown the first maybe 2 seconds,
Yeah.
and because the sound was really probably one of the gnarlier parts. It truly sounded like a tree going through a wood chipper. It was just like, I'll never forget that sound.
Did you let out like a belting scream, or did you like own it?
I screamed. Yeah, I
Fair.
screamed fuck. And
Fair.
some woman was walking with her toddler like down the sidewalk and was just covering her toddler's ears. But I was like,
Oh my God. Okay. And then I had one more question about that and I can't remember. Okay. So when I was watching it, I just figured that you were full of shit. until it cuts to the shot of you in the double cast.
Yeah.
And everybody in the audience was like, what the fuck? Anyone who didn't know that story already.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I think like that, I needed that proof because
Totally.
everything I've said up until that point in the special is like,
It's just crazy. Yeah.
like total bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny. It's people, I've done shows where people don't believe that I'm married. They thought I bought like a fake wedding ring. Not that I get hit on that ever after shows, but like the one time it happened in the past a couple of years, some girl thought I was just lying about being married because everything else I say is untrue. But yeah, this is like the one true thing I talk about on stage, and yeah, man, that was like the fucking worst. Was being in cast for 16 weeks and being confined to my living room and just like, you couldn't beat off, dude. You didn't have, I mean, I did, but like, that was the hardest part. You know, I meant the horniest I've ever been. I'm 15 years old. It's like, it was kind of nice though, because my family would go to bed and, you know, you'd turn on the Howard Stern show and just be like, because I didn't have access. I didn't have a laptop or anything. No access to computers. This is before Wi-Fi was like everywhere, you know, still using Ethernet cables. So it was like, I'm gonna turn on Comedy Central at 2 a.m. and hope that there's either a Girls Gone Wild infomercial or maybe Howard Stern will have a guest that I can please be something I can beat off to. But
Who's barely wearing anything. That was sort of like the boobs era too.
yes,
You know what I mean? Big fake boobs was it.
yes,
There was no booty talk at the time.
no.
Stern's got a nice voice. Like if you had to like a late night guy, like he's got a nice baritone octave.
Yeah,
That
and
like makes you feel something at least.
I think it was not to. I don't know how old are you? Sorry to ask.
28.
28. Okay, so I don't know if that was. You might be a little too young to have.
I had like an iPod Touch and everything.
Okay, so
like
yeah, dude, yeah, not to be one of those old men, but like I feel like we really had to like work for it, and we had to learn to block out Howard Stern's voice and really hone in on the porn star that was riding the Sibi. It's like, you know, we had to. It was harder for us. We really had to work for it sometimes, you know.
But it sounds like you like his voice more than the guest.
yeah, I just go on YouTube and type in David Stern, being Stern.
Any
Just go to
Stern.
town.
Any Stern
All
will do.
Sterns.
But yeah, you guys definitely had to be more creative.
Wait, so you could not beat off, but still managed to? Were you in like a body
So-
cast?
Yeah, it was really fucking hard because the casts were up to above my knees. So any sort of like, yeah.
You're like wearing a chastity belt. Sorry. Sorry.
Very good.
Sorry if that was
Very
annoying.
good. That's very good.
But you were restricted from like getting there.
No, I could. It was just like I was in my family's living room, so it was like,
Got
you
it,
know,
got
I'd
it,
have
got
to
it, got it, got it.
I'd have to wait till. Also, you know, any sort of, I made it work.
They're checking on you a bunch and shit too.
Well, someone could come downstairs at any point, get a glass of water or something, walk through the living room. So you really had to be stealth mode too, you know, just listening for footsteps, listening for creaks in the floorboard, and yeah,
Ankle cracks.
yeah.
Brutal.
I feel like in the living room of all rooms, that's where you're most likely to let your eyes drift off and you make eye contact with like a family photo.
Yeah, there were truly every inch of my parents' wall is just photos of family members
Of them.
Yeah, but that was the thing. You had to lock in. You had to block all that stuff out. Really block out the noise. Block out the other shit on the walls. Really just focus and get your nut, dude.
Had to lock in.
Yeah.
Was there ever a moment after you kind of landed where you're like, oh shit, there is a chance that my penis will no longer work?
Well, I thought, yeah, I mean, I did think maybe for a second I'd be paralyzed, which actually the umbrella kept my spine straight and prevented like a spinal cord injury, which would have absolutely paralyzed me. But
That's wild.
the thing is, like, so I thought I wasn't going to walk again. And then the paramedics showed up and I was like, will I walk again? And they were like, yeah, I think you will. And I was like, okay, that's not promising, but he was like, I think so.
Are you like, will I ever walk
The
again?
hesitation.
Yeah.
Like, are you just like in excruciating pain,
Yeah.
or is it like lulls? Like,
Oh, excruciating.
just like,
pain.
and then they like shoot you up with whatever, and then
Intravenous morphine, best high I've ever had. But before the ambulance showed up, the priest came out of the church and he like said a prayer for me, and that's when I was like, he like did the sign of the cross, and that's when I was like, oh fuck, I might die right now. I was
beat it,
like,
Father.
Yeah, it was like I thought he was giving me like last
Damn,
rites or
bro.
whatever.
That's
So,
scary.
Yeah.
That's fucking scary. Well, you learned your lesson, kid.
Yeah, definitely won't do that again.
Well, anyway, check out the special. It's great. This episode of Oops the Podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. Guys, if you're thinking about giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a wonderful tool to help you sort of efficiently accomplish your goals. Therapy is a great tool for anybody, whether or not you feel like you really need it, or if you're not sure if you need it, and even if you don't think you need it. It's just a really great tool to talk to somebody to kind of help to give yourself a diagnostic test to see if there's ways that you could be living your life that would be more fulfilling or whatever it is you need. In our modern world, and we've talked a lot about this on the pod, but it's very easy to compare yourself to others because social media is so widely and easily accessible. And you see all the highlights of people's lives without seeing the lowlights. And you're comparing your real experience that has highs and lows with other people's highs, and it can be disorienting and make you not feel good about yourself. You know, that among a variety of other reasons that therapy might be something that people would be interested in. That's why BetterHelp is a great tool. BetterHelp helps pair you with the right person, or at least helps you find who you might think is the right person to help you based on a pretty quick and brief questionnaire that's very comprehensive that you will fill out. Won't take you very long, and it will sort of allow you to match with the therapist that is right for you. You'll have some suggestions, and it will also sort of note what that therapist's strengths might be, and will help you find a scenario where you're comfortable, whether it means you specifically like a female therapist, or you specifically like a therapist who is an expert with relationship problems. BetterHelp has you covered for all those different scenarios. And it's just a really quick and efficient way. It is completely online. You can have a comprehensive therapy session right inside of your own home. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/oops to get 10% off of your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com. So BetterHelp.com/oops. Okay, so you're a married man, which you were kind of talking about a little bit earlier. How long have you guys been married for?
2 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And you've been together for a while, right?
Yeah. 8?
Yeah.
8 or 9?
I believe
Yeah.
I've met
8.5.
Mrs. Licata.
Yes.
if
I
that is
should
what she
start
goes
calling
by.
her that. She didn't change her last name, which
Okay.
I wasn't going to force her to change the last name, but I should start calling her Mrs. Licata. She would hate that so much.
This is what I'm talking, progressive brodom.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, she can keep her last name. It's all right. Yeah. So I think I maybe met her at your guys' show one time or something. I don't know. At some point I definitely met her.
Definitely.
Did you have a bachelor party?
I did, yeah. We played paintball, which was fucking... It was my first time playing paintball, if you can believe that.
That's sick.
But it was so sick, and I was like... At one point, I was like, all right, how about I just, like, run zigzags and everybody just, like, shoot me with the paintballs? And the guy that was, like... They have, like, a They had, like, a referee there that was, like, 19 years old or something. And he was just like, no one's ever done that before, but I guess you can. They just lit my ass up.
Damn.
It was, I was covered head to toe. It just looked absolutely gnarly for like 4 weeks after that.
Did you play a proper round of paintball as well?
Oh yeah, we played several rounds.
You ever play paintball?
Just inside paintball.
Inside.
Yeah, they had to end the party early because everybody was shooting the chaperone.
What does that even look like? So the space is arranged so that it's paintball friendly?
It looked like a laser tag room, but it was maybe twice the size of this studio. And the chaperone, or like the person in charge of it, was like standing in like a corner, and everyone just like started shooting at her. And so that was my only experience. It was like half a round of paintball.
And so the walls were already previously lit up by paint. It kind of just looks like...
Yeah, it kind of looked like a doctor's office when you turn the lights off, like the stars and things like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Have you?
Dude, so my next door neighbor had one paintball gun, but that was the only one we had. So we would sort of take turns. One of us would be on the deck and the other one would run around and we'd get like 4 or 5 paintballs each. When he would go down, I'd sneak a few more in there and start fucking lighting his ass up. We would take turns on this like elevated deck. It was like one of those houses where it's 1 level in the front, but 2 in the back. It was like sloped down, sort of like weird setup. But anyway, so like,
You said that judgingly.
I mean, no, it's just like odd. But anyway, like
I wouldn't design my house that way. I'll put it
just saying. But so it was like a pretty high deck. So it was a pretty dramatic sort of like scene where one of you's just running around for your life within the parameters that we had kind of pre-decided. And it was pretty scary, as you learned when you got fucking smoked.
Dude, yeah. And then if you're just American Sniper style, just Chris Kyling your friends, it's like, were you good at shot? Do you like?
I don't think so.
I'm a terrible fucking
Not a good shot.
I don't think I think I hit one person the entire day of doing paintball. I think I hit one guy.
Do paintballs like fly true? I don't know that they do, dude. I mean, I guess maybe it depends what you're working with.
Yeah, I mean, some of mine were hooking to the right.
Yeah, dude,
it was like, ugh.
It's just like, have you seen this new thing? There's these water pellet guns.
No.
Dude, okay, so we were talking about this in a past episode, but like a friend of mine who lives in LA, he has a house and he has all these birds that are like really annoying in the morning. He has this water pellet pistol that he shoots them with and like it doesn't hurt them. Dude.
Oh, sick.
Dude,
oh, wait. Are those called like gel blasters or something? Or is that something
Oh,
different?
it might be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
so
that's what those
so
are.
you know
Okay,
about it.
yeah.
So it's not a water pellet gun? Maybe you seem to know more about this than I do.
I've just heard of these
I
things.
think it's just a synonym. I think it's the same thing.
yeah, same thing.
The bullets, if you don't call them that, I mean, probably we shouldn't be calling them bullets, probably, but like it comes in this little tiny package and you put them in water like the dinosaurs that grew out of the capsules.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And it doesn't hurt the birds.
I guess, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it permanently hurts them. It's maybe slightly controversial. I didn't say him by name when he was telling me about this. But dude, you can put it on automatic mode. Oh, fuck. You switch, dude, it's like absolutely crazy.
That's so funny. Remember that like that dude on Twitter that was talking about like just lighting up feral hogs and shit? Like
What the fuck?
well, that was one thing. So speaking of bachelor parties, like the one idea I pitched before we settled on paintball, which in Texas or maybe it's more Florida, like feral hogs are like a serious problem there. And they have these helicopter tours where they'll fly you down super low and you just fucking snipe feral hogs.
Oh, they're like an invasive species?
They're an
type thing?
invasive species.
So what's
yeah.
the problem? Oh, Jesus. What are they doing?
They're just breeding like crazy. They're fucking up the ecosystem, but also attacking, like they're killing dogs.
Oh,
they're like
God.
attacking humans as well. And yeah, just
So you can go like with an
Fucking up
AK and
crops.
just like fuck up feral pigs.
yeah.
And what were you shooting them with? Was it a gel blaster or was it like
No, fucking AK, dude.
a machine gun?
Yeah, no, it's at least a semi-automatic weapon of some sort. I don't know exactly. But yeah, and it's
Dude.
from a helicopter
So
too.
you fly down in the chopper and fucking that because it's too dangerous to be on the ground type of thing.
They would definitely, you would be swarmed constantly. There's so many of these fucking things. Also, I think it's just like, you could really just take out a whole family of them in like a short amount of time.
What percentage of people do you think go woo as they're doing it?
I would hope most people are enjoying it. I'd hope no one's doing it.
Doesn't want to do
it.
it. You know they make guns that also just like shoot puffs of air, like not even like pellets or anything like that.
Yeah.
My buddies in college had a house and they had a raccoon problem, and one of my friends went to like Dick's Sporting Goods and bought a gun that just shoots like big puffs of air that would like
Scare the shit out
scare
of
the
them?
animals away. But like if you do it with small animals, you could kill them.
Yeah.
Like the air is so tight.
I mean, a CO2 tank or something on there.
Yeah, on Christmas, at my grandma's house, we
These
would
stories are great, dude.
Well,
This is hilarious.
when we were opening up gifts. My cousins and we would go on YouTube on their TV and we would type in squirrels getting killed by air guns. I think that's what they're called. And so my oblivious 90-year-old Nana is just sitting there, and she's like looking up, and she's watching these videos of these guys like getting like behind a bench, like point blank to these squirrels and just going and just killing these squirrels,
Exploding them.
and it was like just okay enough that YouTube was like chill with that being online.
Yeah.
That's like the gray area.
There was, so I was in films. I went to film school, and this one
Where'd
kid
you
for
go?
upstate Ithaca College. Joe went there as well. This one kid for his final project. It's like, liberal arts school and like, film.
Is that where you guys met, by the way?
I met Joe when I was like 10.
Oh, that's wild.
We went same middle school, high school, college.
I met him when he was still in college.
Oh, really?
We did an open mic together at New York Comedy Club,
No way.
and he was literally in college. He was just visiting for the summer. I was like, oh, this guy's hilarious. Anyway, sorry, continue.
No, yeah. What was I saying?
Ithaca.
Oh, yes.
School.
So, like, we're like, it's like everyone's senior thesis project, right? So it's like a packed auditorium, and it's like a liberal arts college. It's all these like, really like pretentious kind of like, pseudo, I don't know, like it's like a lot of really pretentious like student films that are playing. And then this one kid for his final project, he filmed a deer hunting video, like a serious, and it starts out, it's like him in the woods. He's just like, hey, we're going deer hunting today. And everyone laughs because they're like, oh, this is like a comedy sketch or something. And then it just cuts to like a super cut of him just sniping deer. And everyone was just like, what the fuck? Like, girls were walking out crying. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Did he know how funny he was being?
No, I think he was shocked by the reaction. Like, I think he just was like, he was really into hunting, and it was just like, I'm going to make like a hunting video. And,
oh my God, dude.
Any headshots?
oh yeah, there were headshots.
Got him.
And of course he's like doing the pose with the deer at the end.
Holding
the
it up.
dead deer.
Oh my God, dude.
Love that.
Dude, that is absolutely fucking bad shit. I
Yeah.
love the idea of that. Did you know the kid who made the deer video?
Just like peripherally, I had like taken a couple classes with him, but like not super well.
Could you see his reaction to the reaction of his film?
I didn't see him in the theater. Yeah, it was like a dark theater,
Got it,
but
got
I so wish that, like in like sometimes trailers for horror movies, they'll have like the like hidden cameras with like infrared, and they'll show like people
Paranormal
like,
Activity.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I wish they had that, but just on him. Or that whole crowd. That would have been so funny. Oh my God. All movie theaters should just have that. Yeah.
That would be nice for like the 4DX or whatever.
Yeah.
Just have like planted scary people around the theater. Dude, I just love the idea of him not understanding what people were so upset about. I mean, he chose to show that.
Yeah.
Unless there's some like heady message, which doesn't sound like there was.
No.
It reminds me of like Borat when he's like, I think it was before the like HBO show, but he goes to like an animal rights march and talks about shooting animals. They're like, why would you shoot animals? Like we love animals. He goes, I do too. They're like, well, why do you shoot them? He's like, for fun. It's like the same like kind of missing the mark. That's really beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
Have you seen how like pythons are apparently like a big invasive? I know that's not like a new thing, but
In the U.S.?
yeah.
Oh, fuck. I didn't
Okay,
know that.
so in Florida, there's pythons are an invasive species. I don't know. I think the root of a lot of this shit is just like idiots buying exotic animals.
Yeah.
And then they breed, and then there's nothing you can do.
Florida, I mean, like, there are like panthers in Florida too. Like the Florida like they got, I don't know what the fuck is going on down there.
There are also crocodiles
Yes.
in the Everglades, which is crazy. But dude, so there's these accounts where this guy like Python Trapper or something, Python Cowboy, where these dudes just go around murdering giant pythons because they're helping. Which is what an interesting way to take your sort of like fringe population and put them to good use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like make them fucking murder this invasive species and everybody's cool with it.
So wait, they set up these traps to trap the pythons in?
Dude, they like shoot them with fucking shotguns.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I was imagining some like Home Alone style booby trap.
They may
for a
do that
second,
too.
but
They may do that too.
Yeah.
The guy's gotten buried a little bit in my algo. I don't follow enough.
Yeah.
I need to follow the feral pig page too.
Yeah, get that going in your algorithm.
I just looked it up. This is a website for hog hunting.
Oh shit.
Guess how much money so you're hypothetically thinking about this for a bachelor party?
Kind of jokingly, but yeah.
How much do you think a trip 2 hours would cost per person?
500?
5,495 a person.
Per person.
Yeah. Wait, listen to the first sentence of the pitch. Do you want to buzz droves of hogs 15 feet off the ground at highway speeds? Texas is the place to be. We'll supply the machine guns. You bring your trigger finger.
Oh my God.
And this is like the most legit website I've ever seen.
Dude, that's what I think I would think that's what you would charge for like trophy hunting rhino in Africa. Like,
Wait, real quick. This review. There's a
Illegally
review.
trophy hunting rare rhinoceros.
yeah.
My son and I received our hunt as a Christmas present. It was incredible. Chase put us on top of the hogs, and we had a fun time learning about shooting from the air. I like the full auto option.
Oh God.
I like the full auto option we had on the guns. I'd definitely do that again. Although the weather didn't cooperate with us early in the day, by noon there were 33 fewer hogs in the great state of Texas.
Oh my
I'd recommend
God.
to anyone. Hee haw.
Are they using I mean, is this meat like edible? Like I would imagine you could eat it, but I don't know what or maybe it's kind of nasty.
I have
don't
no
know.
idea. A little gamey.
Yeah.
Where does it take off from? There are multiple locations. Where?
Bryan, Texas, Houston, Texas.
Okay.
2 different spots.
Okay.
In case you're looking. Link in bio.
That makes sense.
Yeah, please support these small businesses, folks. If you guys have a bachelor party coming up, go to Houston.
Well, it's funny, like the idea of taking a person who does something that kind of is widely sort of frowned upon and making them into a person who does something good is an interesting concept. I think they did this in Russia with poachers of snow leopards. They hired the poachers to install the remote cameras.
Interesting.
Because they like knew where they were. So it's like they made the same amount of money and now they're not killing them anymore. It's kind of, right?
That is an interesting concept.
It's an innovation for sure.
Man, snow leopards? It's not white.
That's like
That
the
bums
CIA.
me out.
That's like the CIA hiring somebody that like hacked in to work for them instead of giving them jail time.
Oh, like Leo.
Yeah, it's like if you wear a wire, we'll cooperate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know about your buddy though. Dude, like you catch me if you can, right? They hire him to do the check fraud shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is a true story. I guess the moral of the story is be skilled enough that you can be useful.
Yes.
And they'll fucking let you off, dude. That's crazy. Are there other things like that? So wait, so it's like the CIA, what was the example you gave?
I was thinking like you hack a bank, like instead of going to jail, like you work for the government now. So because you know how to do it.
Right. They even do a thing sometimes where they get a bunch of really good hackers together in the same room and see if they can get through the like whatever White House, blah blah blah.
And then they'll hire them because they know how to combat that.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what else you get rewarded for that.
Yeah, I'm sure the healthcare is great. That line of work too. I do sort of wish I knew how to hack a little bit. Like it does seem like a cool flex.
Dude, there's a website. I think it's called like hack. I forget what it's called, but it just makes it look like you're hacking.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Remember that? Dude, it's like called like hackerloop.net or something. And it's like, you just do this and then it suddenly goes access grant. Yeah, dude. Dude, that's so stupid. You go.
That's so funny. Oh man.
Dude, you got to tap into that.
Hackertyper.net.
Hackertyper.net, dude.
Throw the link in the bio there too.
Yeah.
We've tapped into a lot of good gags on this episode. This is good.
Yeah.
This has been fun, the different directions that we've gone in here. You doing anything fun this summer?
Let's see. What do I have going on this summer? Not really, man. I haven't thought that far ahead, to be honest with you. I'm taking a little weekend trip this weekend with the wife, you know.
The old ball and chain.
The old ball and chain. Hey, No regrets though, folks. If you're, I'm happy with my choice. So, if you're thinking about, are you married?
I'm engaged.
You're engaged. That's right. Fuck.
I'm
When-
right behind you, pal.
Hey, if you need any advice, dude, I'm an open book. Anything you want to know, you're nervous about anything, I'll be happy to put some of those fears and anxieties to bed for you.
I appreciate that. Where are you guys going?
We're just going upstate, taking the Amtrak up there. Nice little place on the Airbnb on the Hudson River.
Okay.
Really just get fucked up. I don't know. That's all there is to do at this age. I feel like, right?
I guess I don't really
She's
know.
not gonna go feral hog hunting with me.
Unfortunately, you
No.
gotta change your mind.
You can kill lightning bugs.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty invasive species,
Really?
right? Or wait, what are those the fucking ones
Oh.
that? What are the ones that were like last summer? They were everywhere, and they were like stomp these
the moths.
motherfuckers out.
The blue and white lantern flies.
Lantern
Yeah, okay,
flies.
that's what I thought you were talking about.
AMG.
I really enjoyed walking around killing them, and I actually envisioned a scenario where I was like, this would be a fun activity to do with your son, but then also it's sort of setting this violent precedent.
Giving Dahmer.
It's giving
It's
Dahmer.
giving Dahmer.
I don't know, but it was fun fucking stomping those things, dude.
Yeah, but lightning bugs, I think they're pretty innocent,
Yeah,
but they're fun to swat at.
they really are. You can do it in the dark, and
Dude, I think it's fucked up that ladybugs have such positive branding. Like, if you look close enough, it's just a fucking bug, dude.
they stink too. Right?
Really?
Don't ladybugs like emit some sort of gnarly smell when you smash them?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. They taste terrible.
There was this one time when I was growing up, there was this huge swarm of ladybugs that just like overtook our town for like a week, and it was crazy, and it stunk like shit. It really stunk.
The town stung. Dude, when's the last time you watched Passion of the Christ?
Oh, if you know what, I hope you don't kick me off the podcast for saying this. I've actually never
Oh, dude.
sat down and watched this. I'm saving it for a rainy day.
I watched it last night for the first time
Oh yeah.
by myself, which is, I wonder if that would be seen as a controversial decision or not. I think it's worth watching. I know a lot of people think it's like kind of gory, but the fact that Mel Gibson made it, so many like contributing things go into it where it was like it's a powerful watch. And they speak Aramaic in it too.
Do they?
Yeah, it's like they really went for it, dude.
Okay.
And it's like clearly shot on like a soundstage. It's all really wacky. So
Did I hear correctly? He's making a sequel to that, or did I make
Really?
this up? Someone maybe was trying to pull a fast one on me.
It's fucking with
I
you?
thought I heard that Mel Gibson is, if it's not a sequel to Passion of the Christ, he's making like
It is.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's going to come out in April next year.
Damn.
Passion of the Christ Resurrection, Chapter 1.
oh, that is crazy. Well, I guess they
He's
do kind
getting
of
the
leave it on
JCU going.
Yeah.
The
Jesus
JC
Christ.
miniseries.
Dude, they leave it on a little bit of a cliffhanger at the end. dude.
Yeah.
The balls.
They do. Also, like,
He's like on the cross, and then he winks at the camera.
like, dude, you're not far off from what actually.
Really?
Imagine like the teaser poster. Like you're walking out of the movies and like I remember like Shrek 2, like it was just a big 2.
Yes.
What would the Passion of the Christ teaser poster be?
Cross,
A cross and just like
glow, a hue.
he's back. Like that would be the little tagline at the bottom.
Bang. Yeah.
Jazz hands.
But they got the holes in them. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, it's worth watching if you guys haven't watched it, and if it isn't like triggering in some way to watch some shit like that, dude. If you ever want to really laugh, reading the negative reviews of shit. The negative reviews of Passion of the Christ are so like biting and hilarious. It's like, leave it to Mel Gibson to ruin the greatest story ever told. Like shit like that.
So it's people who are like devout Christians.
No,
that are like,
film critics.
Oh, film critics.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I don't read the like audience reviews just because they're fucking.
Why did it get such?
get it.
Why was it so controversial?
It's really like they try to show the sort of final crucifixion moment as realistically as they can, even though the movie's kind of like whimsical. And they kind of accomplish it, in my opinion, but it is like very gory. And maybe that just sort of like didn't work with the audience or something.
I know the Last Temptation of Christ, the Scorsese film. You seen that one? It's really good, but that one was super controversial because it like portrayed him as like a flawed human, and I think a lot of Christians were like,
People got offended.
"Don't do that."
That's Willem Dafoe.
You don't do
Yeah,
that shit.
Defoe's great in it.
He played Christ.
Yeah,
And when was that?
I'm gonna guess 86. Am I right?
You want to give it a guess?
I mean, I don't even know about it, so it's ridiculous. But
Come on.
1987.
Oh, 1988.
But dude, I only had the framework to make that guess because of him, so that wasn't fair.
You
Yeah, but it
Price
would've
is
been
right at
sick.
me on that
This
kind
is
of.
right in your ass, dude.
Yeah.
Is it long?
Um,
That's the era of like the epic biography, like the Gandhi, the X.
Yes.
2 hours 44 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
I feel like that's pretty long for 1988, especially.
It's a long one. That
Yeah,
came in
it's-
the two VHS box.
Absolutely. Double VHS.
Is there an iconic VHS box that you can remember? Unless you had something else to add to what you were saying.
Shit. Iconic VHS. I just remember the ones that kind of like freaked me out in like Blockbuster. You know, the one.
scary ones.
You know that movie Dead Alive?
Yes.
The cover to that I remember freaked the shit out of me. It's like
pull that?
it's like an open mouth and there's some like monster coming out of the mouth or something.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Do you like horror movies?
I do. Yeah. Of course.
You any that like freaked you out and where you were like actually scared
Well,
recently? In
one time
adulthood?
my wife went out of town and I watched Rosemary's Baby and Blair Witch Project back to back.
Ooh.
The creature.
And I also ate an entire pepperoni pizza by myself. So I just, yes,
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
I
the
remember
cover that freaked me out. But yeah, I couldn't sleep that night because I was so scared and also so sick to my stomach from eating an entire pizza. And she like came back the next day and was like, "You just lost all self-control." Like,
every way.
yeah, when mom's away, I guess. But
We had the Twilight Zone, this box set on VHS.
oh, nice.
Did you guys watch the
Twilight Zone. A little bit.
This
So
was the
good.
one with the Eye of the Beholder, Talking Tina, and then the one that takes place at the diner. And that messed me up big time because I was watching that like when I was like 3 or 4, and I always had like a complex with like dolls and stuff because of it.
Are You Afraid of the Dark freaked me out as a kid. That there was
same.
that dollhouse episode. Oh my god,
I don't know
that
if I
shit was
remember
genuinely
specifically.
frightening.
That was scary. Yeah, that would scare me. Blair Witch Project is not a good movie to watch alone since the scariest part of the movie is someone standing in the corner of a room.
Yes,
So you just like the only that's a great fucking movie.
unbelievable what they were able to accomplish. It was like the first found footage movie.
Totally.
People believed it was real.
It was amazing in every way.
Yeah.
So good. And Rosemary's Baby, for a movie that doesn't have like a scary ending, it's a really fucking scary movie. And it's still scary. And also, Mia Farrow was such a baddie, dude. Yeah. Unbelievably, not to reduce her to an aesthetic, but she was absolutely drop dead gorgeous.
And that short hair was
Oof.
not everyone can pull off the short hair in a way that does it for me, and she was able to do it. Yeah. I see why Woody was went for that.
I was too young for this, but when they were marketing the Blair Witch Project, they were releasing missing person
Yes.
posters for the characters, but they wouldn't say that it's for a movie. So people genuinely believe that these are
And
real
they
people.
told those people to go into hiding for like the 6 months leading
Wow.
up to the release and shit. And yeah, I remember going on, they made like a whole fake website and stuff.
They made it for like $80,000 or something, right? Or even
Yeah,
less.
something like that.
It's fucking crazy. Dude, yeah, what a good movie. And it sucks when you're watching a movie and you're hoping that the characters are going to be fine, but you occasionally are just like, oh, I already know they're not going to be. God damn it.
Yeah.
The underrated part of horror is how tragic it usually is, which makes it really intense.
Yeah. There's some Donald Sutherland just died. You ever
Yeah,
see
R.I.P.
Don't Look Now?
No. Good
It's
one.
like genuinely heartbreaking movie and deals with a lot of like, grief over the death of a child and stuff, but
Ugh.
it's also scary as fuck at the same time. And
Brutal.
yeah, that
Did you ever see that show, Haunting of Hill House?
no, I didn't.
That is like deeply intense and so scary at the same time and like really fucking tragic.
I gotta watch that.
If you-
Well shot too.
Yeah, it's sick. It's so good. It's that
bone
guy's
chilling.
best show, in my opinion. He's done a few of them.
Blair Witch was 60K.
60K. Damn. Fuck.
So, roughly what I spent on my special.
Here. Likewise, dude. All right. Well, Dan Licata, ladies and gentlemen, go check out the special For the Boys. Check out his Seth Meyers set. Anything else you got coming up?
I got a new podcast with Nick Nanny coming out called Chicken Parmesan. Check that out. And just follow me on social media at Dan Licata Sucks.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Nick Nanny. Dan Licata Socks. For the Boys. Thank you guys. See ya.